Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Melanie Deason. I'm the Director of Education at the Davis Phinney Foundation, and I'm thrilled to be here with members of Third Law. And we're going to talk a little bit about Dance for PD today. So we have Lisa and Katie, and I'd love for you to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are. How did you get involved in working with Third Law, Dance for PD, and working with people with Parkinson's in particular. So either one of you. Katie, would you like to start?
Sure. My name's Katie Elliott, and I'm the artistic director of Third Law Dance Theater and also co-founder. I started this company 22 years ago with my partner, Jim Levita, who was a dance ethnologist. And I came into it from the choreographic and performance world. And I started, our Parkinson's program started with Vicki Sahoyas, which was then the Boulder Parkinson's program. But she was not a nonprofit. She didn't have a steady space to have the classes in, and I said, can I volunteer, and do you want to be under the umbrella of Third Law? And ever since then the program has been expanding, and we went from 1 class a week to 2 to 3 to 4, and now we're having classes in person and online, and both in English and Spanish.
Oh, that's fabulous. And Lisa, what about you?
So my name is Lisa, and yeah, I was a Third Law fan and taking classes with Third Law. And, after a while I was speaking with Katie and one of the board members about how I could be involved with Third Law administratively. And we were kind of searching for a way, and I'd heard about the Parkinson's program, and my stepfather had Parkinson's. So, he had passed by this time, but I was very curious about it. And at the same time, I was helping and visiting a person in an assisted living facility, a gentleman, and he, wanted to do everything that I did. So he said, I want to go to a dance class with you. And I thought, I've got the perfect class for you. So I brought Richard to a dance class, and I fell madly in love with the program. And I never left. I mean, I started helping out as a volunteer, and pretty soon Katie and Vicki suggested that I go to New York and do the training, the Dance for PD training. And then once I got involved with the program, it just became clear that it was the perfect fit for the way that I would be involved with Third Law. So I'm still here.
Oh, that's so great. So we have a lot of people in our community, obviously, that have heard a lot about Dance for PD, and they, their friends tell them how great it is, but they're like, I don't dance. That's not my thing. What are some of the things that you'd want people to know about that are maybe Dance for PD curious, and they haven't quite taken that leap to go into a class, either online or virtually? What would you like them to know?
I guess I would say that I understand. I think just in general, as an adult, it's intimidating to do something new and to go into a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. And even though, we structure our classes to be very welcoming to new people, it's daunting. And so that's one of the reasons that we started in July, a 30-minute intro class. It's just a way for somebody who's interested, who's curious, but who's hesitant to try it out in a safe environment where everybody else in the room is new too. And I have to say that we've been talking about doing this, but it was one of our ambassadors, it was his wife who suggested it. And once the idea came from the community, we just jumped on it, and it's been, a huge success. So,
it's important to know that no experience is required to take these classes. In fact, I feel like people that come into the experience without having a dance background benefit so much, because they don't have any preconceived ideas of what it should be. So
yeah, and they're not measuring themselves up against maybe 10, 20 years ago or something they used to do dance or whatever.
Yes.
And so do you offer the intro class online as well? Or is that
right now it's online. It's once a month for 30 minutes. And a lot of times people will try it online and then choose to go to the in-person class. They just want a test of what it is, or a taste of what it is, before they commit to coming to a class. And really the feedback that we got from the community was, it's hard to go to a class that you feel like is already a community, and you're not, you're the new person. So by having already had the experience of being in a class and then going in, it somehow takes the edge off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you have a lot of people coming in and out over the years. And I know that there's research, and we can talk about, medical research and all of that kind of stuff. But what are you seeing for people that come in, they have Parkinson's, they've never done this before, and they start to do it? What are some of the things that you notice that they're able to do and that they start doing because they've started taking dance?
Well, one of the things I notice immediately almost is when people sit down, they're all, crunched up and hunched over. And as soon as they start expanding, their facial expression changes, and it just starts to grow from the beginning of class to the end of class, to the point where we have had to collect canes at the end of class because they forget to take them at the end of class. So
Amazing.
yeah, I think it gives them a feeling of possibility instead of concentrating on what's wrong. But
Yeah.
you do have some other.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's different for everybody, but it's beautiful, the transformation that can happen for a person on the, journey when they start with the dance program, because, some people are just really upset that they have Parkinson's, and they're very angry and closed, and they're not happy. And, after a few months, I mean, I can't say it's all dance, but they're laughing and smiling, and they're feeling part of the community. I definitely also see a lot of change in ability to use their coordination and their cognitive function. David Leventhal has a quote that I just love, and it speaks to what you said about possibility. But he said that a Dance for PD class encourages or allows a participant to explore the range of physical and creative possibilities that are still very much available to them. And I think that that's really powerful because, for anybody, just to be able to explore the range of physical and creative possibilities is a gift. And that, really shows up in how people transform from coming to classes.
Right. And so, you were talking about, we collect canes. Is there any person that Dance for PD is not okay for? Do you have people in wheelchairs and people who are fully mobile? And, what are the range that people come in?
Yeah, we have a huge range of people, because the philosophy is that it's inclusive for everybody, for all levels of ability and lack of mobility. And the classes are really structured to welcome and build community amongst different levels. So, we definitely have people in wheelchairs and people who just come to class because they want to dance.
Yeah, that not everyone has Parkinson's that comes to class. There are a lot of people that are just dealing with mobility challenges from aging or chronic illness. And the big thing around that is the community that they create. And so, yeah, we try to encourage as many people to come as possible. They bring their family members.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, hey, you could come and do nothing but listen to the music and smile. Yeah. Or, we just made some gazpacho and you can make it with your hands. And there's so many things to do that I don't think, people appreciate until they test a class out. So,
and we structure the class really to be inclusive so that everybody normally, we stood today for some of it because of being in this odd situation, but the class is structured that, the first half is seated for everybody. So there's just a sense of we're all together. And then in the second half of class, when the instructor comes to standing, we ask people to self-select where they are at, in that particular day. And we provide a seated assistant so that, not only do they have a demonstration of the movement if they were staying seated and other people are standing, but they also just have some camaraderie. And, like today, for example, Katie was teaching and I was assisting. and myself and the other assistant stayed seated. And at first, just one person stayed seated, but other people, you could tell that they felt like they could sit down because others were. So
Right.
class is structured for wherever you're at that day is perfect.
That's great. Well, is there anything else that we should let everybody know?
I would just say that we have, that as Katie said, please check us out. We have 4 online classes, 3 in English and 1 in Spanish. We have a class at the Dairy Center for the Arts, which is in person. And we were probably one of the last programs to go back to in person. We started back in June, and it's magical just to hear the feet stomping and people clapping. And I mean, Zoom is magical too. And when we went back to in person, our community said, please, keep the Zoom classes, because they have a place, and they're going to have more of a place in winter. And it allows people to join from, we have people from Florida, Philadelphia, New York, from all over who come to our class. So try it out. We also have the intro class, which is the first Thursday of every month.
Okay, great. Well, I will definitely share all the links and so people can get a hold of you, come to Third Law in person if they're here. If not, try out some virtual classes, and love that you have it in Spanish. So we'll definitely be sharing that with our community.
I think another unique part of our program is that because it's based in an arts organization, we're always starting from that point, meaning it's a creative process, not just an exercise program.
Yeah.
So they do some of the choreography that I use in our rehearsals with the professional dancers. So in fact, we did a concert where we had our Dance for Parkinson's participants on screen dancing with the company of professional dancers. So we're just looking at this as an opportunity to just grow the community, not be in little pockets.
Right. Well, it's great. I know how much our community loves Dance for PD. I love Dance for PD. Every time we get a chance to do it, we do. So I appreciate it very much. And I'll definitely send everyone your way.
And I just want to thank you. I mean, the Davis Phinney Foundation is amazing, and we really appreciate, everything that you do, and for including us in your programming.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.